I've never written a treatment goal that's like, we're going to change this trait about you. Are we teaching meaningful life skills or encouraging masking of autistic traits?
I believe that we strive to teach life skills that really matter to that individual. Masking,
I'm masking right now.
I think,
So it's
yeah,
like, I think masking is a part of everybody's reality.
I agree.
Um,
I speak very differently with my friends, with my family than I would with a client or someone that I'm working with professionally, a patient.
yeah.
Um, I think uh, it depends also on the setting. What the expectations are in that setting and what your goals are for yourself in that setting.
I don't think we're really working on changing traits. I've never written a treatment goal that's like, we're going to change this trait about you.
Right.
It's more like, what do you want to do? What are the steps? How can we break down these tasks? How can we make it more functional, easier? Um,
How can we work on social communication, on topic comments and questions in a social setting? I mean, I don't really see that as masking, but again, I think it goes back to the individual and what they want for themselves.
yes. And so, one of the things that we sometimes encounter, and that we're both certified in peers, um, and I won't ask you to do the acronym again. But,
Thank you.
you know, friends lead to meaningful and happiness outcomes. And so some of the things that we see, and a lot of times when we enter into the homes and we're getting to know the clients, there's a little bit of heartbreak.
Mhm.
Because one of the stories that we do hear very often is, Tammy wants to have friends so badly, but doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's tough because when you're dealing with friends and meaningful outcomes of friendship and the science of making friends, um, there is some societal norms and rules. Like you can't get too close to people,
That's
right?
right.
And you can't talk too loudly. And you can't ask them 100 questions in a row
You can't ask them things that are too personal right away.
or tell them information that's too personal about
Or
yourself.
yeah, correcting someone's grammar when they're speaking. People don't like that. So, learning these skills, I don't equate that to masking. I equate that to being able to be successful in a social setting if that's something that you want, because not everybody does.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But science does tell us that community is an important part of longevity
Yeah.
and also vitality and also happiness outcomes. So that is something we balance with.
Hmm.
Um, I think everybody is masking. I do think that the autistic community might be masking more. Um, and I do want to hear what they have to say. So if you have some insights on masking, I'd love to hear from you. We would, in terms of what that means for you and what reality that is. And
Yeah, and having that understanding, I think, with the people that we work with, helps us to serve them better. So we appreciate any discourse.
and we serve clients from 2 to 65. So we have a ton of young adults. We
Mhm.
have a ton of teenagers. None of them have said to me, I'm masking or use that term or,
Yeah, I have not heard that from any of the clients I've worked with either.
yeah.
I know that it is a common thing that is said, maybe in conferences and maybe interviews. I don't know what the origin is behind it, and I'd like to understand it better.
Yeah. But I do think ABA addresses autonomy. And when I'm doing a treatment, I want to, see your true authentic self. I want to recognize that. I want to be respectful of that. I want to get to know what your identity is for yourself. And I don't know if our treatments ever changed that.
I don't think so.
I mean, in mental health, people sometimes have compulsions. And, some of the compulsions we've seen is when extraordinarily upset or frustrated, self-injurious behavior.
Yeah.
So am I is treating self-injurious behavior and teaching more functional skills like hey, I'm really pissed off right now and I don't want to do that and I need space and you need to get away from me. Like that type of functional communication response, um, in place of, getting so frustrated that you're pulling out your hair, your eyebrows, your eyelashes, hitting your head, slapping yourself, digging your nails in, scratching your face. Since those things are harmful, I don't want individuals to do that. So I'm not sure if that is masking to teach, but I just think it's more functional expression. It still has autonomy and self-respect, but it's not harmful to yourself.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think always looking at safety first.
Always safety first
Um,
and autonomy,
and
you
yeah,
know.
respecting that we all have different ways of thinking, different ways of expressing ourselves, and trying to guide that in a way that will help that person to reach their own goals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But are we teaching people to not be themselves? I don't think so. And actually, I really don't think ABA has that sort of power.
I don't
I
think so
mean,
either.
I'm in love with our science. I think it's really phenomenal. The potential is enormous. I think how our science works in the science of motivation and how behavior is shaped by your consequences,
Yeah.
right? I think it's happening every day out in real life. And I think it also happens in nature naturally. I need to learn more about what the traits are. If the traits are stimming, as we discussed, I think everybody stims.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't think there's any harm in stimming whatsoever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think so either. As long as it's not something that is physically harmful or dangerous, I think that it's fine. Learning to communicate socially, being able to have a conversation and interact with people. I think that is a skill that does require listening and understanding what people are talking about and recognizing when it's your turn to talk and when it's not. I think that that can be really challenging for a lot of the people that we work with, but also we've seen great success with that too. If it's something that they're
absolutely.
motivated by and they want to learn. But is
And I
that
think it's
masking of a trait?
I think it's in settings, right? So
Yeah.
applied behavior analysis means we're taking this science and we're looking at it from a setting lens
Mhm.
as to what behaviors are being reinforced and what aren't. So if you're around friends and you're, acting like, you're acting like your true authentic self,
Mhm.
um, and that's being accepted, then I don't think, that's a behavior that we need to trait at all.